Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of 420 Grams. It's just me and Mr. Jaideep Basu this evening, and we were so bored or so entertained, either way, whichever way you look at it, by the AFC Cup game between ATK FC. Did I get all the letters, Jaideep?
I think a goal for each letter, I think. I don't know.
and FC Nasaf, and it was an absolute schooling, I think. I'm going to get straight to you. I'm not going to go into any disclaimers about my background and all of that because it doesn't really matter. What matters is the result and what has happened in this zonal semi-final where the league that we hold to be our Premier League, our main league, and the club that is quite definitely the dominant club in that league with the most number of solid Indian players, national team players, and all of that, and bench strength, foreign players as well, has ended up with this result. What do you make of the game, Jaideep?
See, actually, I don't have anything to make of the game. This is one game. Generally, when I watch a match, I watch it fully. Whatever happens. This is a game, I think I lost heart. After 3 goals, I lost heart. I was watching it from time to time. And every time I watch it, 1 goal has been increased. Second half, of course, I watched. Somehow I managed to watch. I guess it is a reflection of where we stand, actually. As you said, this is a team which is in the ATK Mohun Bagan is a team which has a galaxy of stars. Amrinder Singh, Pritam Kotal, what do you call it? Shubhashish Bose, Ashutosh Mehta. He has also been called for the national camp. Pristam Kotal. I think there is a Manveer Singh. Everybody who has played for India, and four very, very fine foreigners, at least. David Williams and Carl Matthew, then your Roy Krishna, of course, even that Finnish player who actually among the 4 foreigners, I think he was shaped better than among all of them. So, I think they are the most, that's what the people say, they are the most expensive team in the country. They reached the final, yeah. Their budget is, I think, very, very high. That's what I have been told. Though the budget is 16.5 crore is the cap according to ISL rules. And they were playing against a team, which team? Nasaf FC. What they stand? They are 4th or 5th in their league, in their own league. And from the leaders, they are 18 points behind. Not 1 point behind, 18 points behind. And they were playing with only 2 foreigners, 2 Serbians were there in the team. And still we get this result. So it only shows where we stand, where the Indian.
So in a sense, okay, let's ठीक है, reality check तो मिल ही रहा है. Sorry, I don't know if I've lost your audio or can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And our good friend Vaibhav Raghunandan is joining us after a long time as well, because obviously this is a game that has excited people and has brought various people into the fray. And after a long time, Vaibhav, who's been doing a lot of our written stories, a lot of our, a lot of the hard work, the pavements, the founding pavements put on the ground. Yeah. Vaibhav, what's up, man? You're the only one who has a decent frame and probably decent audio on this situation. So let's start off with getting your take on.
I'm glad you didn't say decent looks.
पर्सनल चीजों पे तो हम जाते ही नहीं है. नहीं. तो बताइए आपका क्या है असेसमेंट गेम का, क्या हुआ?
I was actually, there's a friend who coaches at like the junior level, and him and me he's a D-licensed coach. He coaches at like under 14 level in Bangalore, and him and me were texting throughout the game, and I wasn't saying anything. I was just like कि आप देखो game, आप observation अपना मुझे दो और मैं बस सुनूंगा. And all he was saying was just look at these guys, just look at the Uzbek team's movement, just look at the way they pass the ball and move. Just look at it's like they were playing a six-a-side game against some bacha team and just constantly moving the ball around, short passes, just playing a simple football. And this guy is saying, the only way you can achieve this is, and I know I haven't been on this show for a while, तो आप लोग शायद ये चीज बोलते रहते हैं, पर मैं आता नहीं हूँ, तो मैं एक बार बोलना चाहता हूँ कि the only way you can achieve this is
आता भी नहीं है और admit ये भी कर रहा है कि देखता भी नहीं है.
मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ कि the only thing that is like very obvious then is that he was saying also is that way you achieve this is you get players to play more. जब लड़के खेल ही नहीं रहे हैं तो उन्हें ये सब समझ में ही कैसे आएगा? And that was like really evident. Like their number 19 was, I think, also 19 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That little kid. And he could have had like at least 6 goals. Like at least.
Norchaev.
Yeah, Norchaev. Yes, exactly.
Norchaev, yeah.
Like just his movement in between defenders constantly. It was just madness to watch. Like, I mean, I don't know. that was all assessment for the game.
No, fair enough. Okay, yeah, fine. I get it. We got beaten, yeah. But let's take a step back. Let's be a little bit more dispassionate. Let's give the people what they want, which is perhaps some kind of reasoned assessment of why we are. Or maybe let's start with what happened to begin with, right? From kickoff onwards, पहले half में जो scene था, early goals, consistent goals, every few minutes there was a goal happening. How does a team react to that situation? What exactly was it that we were doing wrong? And when I say we, I don't mean you and I. We do all kinds of things wrong all the time. But I mean ATK Mohun Bagan, in the context that they are at. They are playing a zonal semi-final of a continental club championship, right? With a team that is perhaps looking to make a mark in the domestic season next when it begins, which is quite soon. So what's happening with the team? What went right? Is it just an experimental phase?
I think this is a pre-season game for them. Seriously. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is a pre-season game.
I will tell, see the difference between the two teams. And Vaibhav, I will tell you, both of you, see the difference between the two teams. One was, again, which has become my favorite line for a while now. One was busy in headline management. We are playing AFC Cup. We are playing this. We have to practice. We are going to Dubai. We'll do this and we'll that. What the other team was doing? Other team was simply playing football. On 16th also they played their last game. They were playing the local league. They never skipped their local league to concentrate on the AFC Cup, and which culminated into this. They were simply playing their local league. There are only 2 foreigners, as we were saying. Only 2 foreigners, who were the 2 Serbian boys. So that is the difference between the two teams. See, they didn't try to make a show out of it. They didn't say before the match, they didn't say we have the power to beat the other team. That's has been quoted.
Yeah, it was part of. Yeah, absolutely. The coach said that in the
official website. It's in the official website. So they are playing AFC Cup means they are they allowed to do anything? Your team has played the local league from 1914 onwards. Actually, Mohun Bagan is the first Indian team to be taken into CFL. CFL previously was only dominated by the British teams. And suddenly one fine morning you say, I don't want to play after 110 years playing there. What you are today is because of that. Is it the way? And are they coming from some other planet that nobody has the right to say anything on them? See, on one hand, you are saying, I'm coming, you can always say you come back to the same topic again and again. On one hand, you are saying that you have to improve the state league. And when you are one of your premier teams don't play the state league, then you turn a blind eye to them. It is nothing which Siddhant just said is right. It is basically a lack of match practice. The other team had played enough matches, so they have become smoother. You play, you become smoother. It is like that. It is in any sport. It is like that. Whether it is football or cricket or hockey or badminton, boxing, whatever. It is also like that. When did you play your last match? 1 month ago, you played your last match. And after you came back playing that match against the Basundhara FC or something in the AFC Cup, then what did you do? You asked the players to go on leave. They went on leave. The CFL was on at that time. You didn't want to play there. You asked them to go on leave. And after that, they assembled. You went to Dubai for practice. What kind of training you did? It was visible to them. By the stroke of half an hour to answer Siddhant's question that what happened, how it happened, by the stroke of half an hour, I think Vaibhav will agree with me, Mohun Bagan had gave a match. See, in the first 4 minutes, in the third minute, you concede a corner. You don't understand how the corner has been taken. You somehow get saved. Next minute, you concede another corner on the same ball, and you concede a goal. And then you concede in the 18th minute, in the 21st minute, in the 31st minute. By stroke of a half an hour, the game is over. You are just going through the motion. So, see, I am not saying this is the end of Indian football. That I am not trying to say. Or this is something which will really destroy Indian football. But it only shows the reality, where we stand, whether it is post-2014 or pre-2014. The two eras of Indian football, as it has been divided by some people, not by me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So a very important actually sub point here from Jaideep Da, as usual, who always makes a epochal statement every time he is on the show, that there was a pre-2013-14 era and there's a post. And our understanding of it as young fans, as young people who are involved with the sport, is that football in this country started with the ISL in 2013-14, right? That's the time when I understood that, oh, football bhi koi khela hota hai. तो मैंने तब से उसको फॉलो करना शुरू किया और मैं तब से देख रहा हूँ. तो वैभव, आपके असेसमेंट में इस फेज में जो हिंदुस्तान की चैंपियन टीम है, जिसने काफी मतलब जुगत लगा के, एफर्ट लगा के चैंपियंस लीग स्पॉट हासिल किया है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, हाउ आर वी कंपीटिंग विद आई सपोज सेकंड थर्ड tier nations, even in the Asian context, and how are we dealing with forget about the national team and those situations, but like club level differences?
पहले तो ये चैंपियन टीम नहीं है इंडिया की, okay, just to make it clear. Yes. ये second place आए थे, so that's why they're playing the AFC Cup first of all. Okay, and differences, I mean, again, like, it just boils down to, I don't know, maybe if this game is held, these are all things to like also consider when you draw up the football calendar for India. There has to be a rethink, simply because like Jaideep was saying, that Bagan refused to play the CFL. Okay, there is another tournament also going on right now, the Durand. All right, there are only X number of teams taking part in that. Now, by this time, a lot of Asian teams have already run through like a preliminary part of their season. They've already played a lot of games. So when they come into like AFC Cup semis, या फिर जो group stage में भी जब खेल रहे थे, they've already played a lot of games. If you remember, FC Goa played their ACL games after the season had ended. मतलब कितने हफ्तों बाद उन्होंने खेला था वो, right? So when you talk about कि अच्छा, how far are we, what our situation is in terms of Asian football at the club level, you also have to consider the way that we draw up the calendars. I understand India's climate, this, that, all of these things will be thrown about. You know, कि वो हमारे में बारिश होती है तो उस समय नहीं खेल सकते, इस समय नहीं खेल सकते. पर ऐसी सच्चाई नहीं है. हम खेल सकते हैं, अगर जरूरी है तो बन सकता है टाइम इस सब चीजों के लिए. And accordingly, you give players game time. When I was saying that this is a pre-season game for Mohun Bagan, I'm not joking. It's dead serious. Like, this is how many games have they played till now? You know, this is like, ये गए थे दुबई में कैंप लगाया, गेम खेल के आ गए. That's all they can do.
4 मैच खेला है.
हाँ, exactly. 4 मैच खेले हैं सीजन में. 4 मैच तो प्री सीजन फ्रेंडलीज हो गए ना ये. That's what they are essentially. They're pre-season friendlies. Unfortunately, they're in a competitive context. Unfortunately, they're in this like really like high intensity. Fans are demanding a lot. Coaches are giving like big words, that sort of thing. But it's not true. अब आपने खेला ही नहीं है. यही गेम अगर आप दिसंबर में करवाएं. That was a very good point made in the broadcast by Darren Caldera, who's also a guest of the show, a friend of the show, right? Where he said that after a loss like this, a team has the opportunity within the next 2-3 days to get their game again, get another game, and try and like just shake this off. अब इन लोगों को अगला गेम कब मिलेगा खेलने के लिए? It's something to think about. These guys, Nasaf just played a game a few days back. It's like these simple things matter a lot in terms of even the Asian context, how we can compete. Like, forget about coaching quality, player quality. वो सब हम बाद में भी देख सकते हैं ना. At least let's set this first. Sorry for the monologue.
No, that's fine. I mean, you were asked a pretty long ass question, so you're allowed to give a long ass answer, and that's fine. But so, okay, coming back to the game, any positives, any players that stood out for you guys, any aspects of the tactical approach to the game that made sense from a ATK MB perspective, any ways in which you think we are moving up to a level where at least our club sides are kind of applying the same approach that the better club sides in Asia, not in Europe, forget Europe, in Asia are looking at?
See, overall, they may be doing it, but it was not visible from this match. It was not visible from this match. Even two of their best players, Roy Krishna and David Williams, were not at all in their elements. I don't blame them. They were not getting the ball.
Yeah.
If one team has given 23 or 25 shots at your goal and you have made only zero shots, then you know what is the difference. So as I said earlier, by the half an hour, the match was over. The next 60 minutes was meaningless. It had no point. Both the teams knew. ATK Mohun Bagan, of course, knew that there is no point. Whether they can salvage some prestige, that they were looking forward to. Their defense didn't give them any room, and they didn't take too many balls into their half space. From both the wings, you have seen the match from both the wings, especially from the left. There was so many attacks. It was कि जान बचाओ वाला काम कि अभी फाइनल व्हिसल देके खत्म करो इसको, है ना? ऐसा मतलब रेफरी को सर कितना टाइम बाकी है, जैसे होते हैं ना प्लेयर्स बोलते हैं सर कितना टाइम बाकी है.
Yeah, no, I unfortunately never before coming to you.
The England player, except that Finnish player who has been
Johnny Kauko.
I don't know whether of you agree with me. He, I thought, was trying to make some movements. A couple of balls he passed. They were pretty slower also, one of them, whatever. But at least I thought he was trying to do something. The rest of them had nothing to do, actually. I'm not blaming them. Not that they didn't try. But the other team was actually far superior. Like the 19-year-old. He made Mohun Bagan defense dance, actually. They made them dance. And Mohun Bagan defense is having at least 3 players who are on the India list. Isn't it? Yeah. Your Pritam is there, Shubhashish is there, your what do you call it? Ashutosh Mehta is also on the India probables list. They made them look like, I don't know.
Yeah, made them look a lot like, this evening before I was not meant to be in this scenario, obviously, because we had a show to do and we were taking it seriously. But then some friends said they saw the game and they were like, ye tera kaam hai. So I was like, भाई ऐसे अगर मैं मजाक उड़ाना शुरू करूँगा तो हाँ. So but they said anyway, come for a bit. You can still watch the game, play a little bit. And then one or two guys were like, ये तो pro है, इसके साथ नहीं खेल सकते ये वो. तो मैं यही बोला था कि football, unlike cricket is also a team sport. But football requires a team to operate in a team-like manner at most times in order for a plan to operate, right? In order for you to do things the way you want to do it. Like you were saying, Johnny Kauko will not make it happen. If he's playing a certain ball, it requires the person at the end of that ball to receive it, to play it on, or to do something with it, and it takes a team. How is it that we are still, despite all the coaching inputs, despite all of the structure that is now coming together to allow our club sides to form some kind of, I don't know, foundation, etc., how is it that we are still falling apart at the basics? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Falling apart at the basics, I would say we have not improved. Mohun Bagan lost to the Kuwait team 6-0. That was in 2008. Of course, that Kuwait team went on to win that title. On this Nasaf team, I think a beat came for 9-0 in 2009 or 2010. 9-0 or 4.
9-0 and 4-0.
4-0. So this is a very good team, no doubt about that. So I don't know how our coach said, okay, we have the power to beat them. At least I would have refrained myself from saying so. Looking at the record of the Indian teams, I don't know why he said it and how he said it. He must have felt it. That's why he said. So it only shows that we have not progressed. This is the second 6-0 defeat for us, isn't it? A few days ago, we lost to UAE 6-0. The Indian national team lost to UAE 6-0 a few months ago. And that time we have said we were experimenting with the team. That time, that was the excuse. Now, what should be the excuse? So when your club team or your national team keep on losing by a half a dozen goals at the international arena in a span of few months, then there is something seriously wrong. But to ratify that wrong, to rectify it, you have to admit there is serious wrong. But unfortunately, we are not ready to admit. We are in a bubble. It is not a COVID-19 bubble. We are in a constant bubble. I would not say from when. That would look very odd. But for the last few years, we are in a bubble. And the bubble is Siddhant is there to burst only. It is busting at one point or the other. Isn't it?
Also, when you're talking about like all this coaching input and all of this, like how it's improving, whether or not, but also you to see like there is times like we have foreign players and Indian players, and you could see there were moments in this game when the foreign players just did not have the confidence or didn't trust their Indian counterparts enough to even pass them the ball. You know, there was this moment in around, like, I'm going to say the second half, midway through the second half, and David Williams caught the ball in like the 25-yard area of Nasaf. He got it and he turns, he tries to cut past two guys. You can see Ashutosh free on the right. And okay, Ashutosh has had a bad game. I understand that. Okay, but he's khali hai, usko de do, just circulate the ball around. But he's like, nahi dena hai mujhe ball. I do not want to give it to that guy. And he loses the ball eventually, and then they're tracking back. You know?
नहीं देना है क्योंकि वो मिलेगा नहीं ना, वापस नहीं मिलेगा. That is the point.
So this is when Siddhant is saying कि ये team sport है. Essentially हम cricket की तरह ही खेल रहे हैं football को भी. ठीक है ना? 2 batsmen है, 1 bowler है और सब fielding कर रहे हैं. बात यही हो रही है. अभी football में भी हम वही कर रहे हैं.
हाँ. जैसे हम कभी-कभी एक साथ खेलते हैं ना शाम को यहाँ पे इस टाइप की पिच पे. There are people who more often than not they lose the ball.
Absolutely correct.
तब भी आप उनको पास देते हैं ना.
बिल्कुल.
राइट. क्योंकि आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप टीम बिल्ड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. आप एक फीलिंग, एक कमराडरी बिल्ड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हम सब एक साथ होके एक ऑब्जेक्टिव पाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. आई थिंक किसी लेवल पे ये लैकिंग है हमारे ये in our approach to football, where we seem to have these superstars and players who do very well at our level and in our neighborhoods. Like no doubt, if any of these guys were to come and play five-a-side with us, they would score a dozen goals.
Yeah. But if you play with them, even if you you've had the privilege. I've had the privilege of playing with some of these boys, and you see that they pass the ball to us, man. मतलब मैं कौन हूँ यार? मुझे कुछ नहीं खेलना आता.
Sometimes to play with like diplomats from the from the Uzbek embassy, उनके साथ खेले हुए हैं ना. एक बंदा होता था जो काफी साल हिंदुस्तान में पोस्टेड था, ठीक है ना. वो 9 नंबर खेलता था for their 6-a-side team, but वो कहता था कि वो कभी नहीं कहा उसने कि मैं नेशनल टीम खेला हूँ, ठीक है. लेकिन इतना कहा उसने कि मैं खेलता था थोड़ा बहुत बैक होम, ठीक है. He used to destroy us. Destroy, right?
Sure.
So physically, and he was much older, right now.
Like it happened today.
Yeah, like it happened today, because somehow the guy knew where his players were, what his team's strengths and weaknesses were, and how to utilize them. Somehow I think we keep getting stuck in the same trap again and again, and unfortunately we keep landing up live at the end of these reality checks to somehow I don't know. Anyway, moving on to more fun stuff. If anyone has anything, Weber, you have a joke you want to tell us?
I think the joke was like 90 minutes long and it's over.
All
right, fair enough. So
it's very unfortunate, Siddhant, what happened today. I would say it is, and at the end I will say what happened today is very unfortunate.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have happened like this. It
Absolutely.
Shouldn't have ended like this. Yeah, but the thing is that should we now open our eyes? Shouldn't we now open our eyes?
No, we should.
See what is happening.
No, we should. Absolutely. And I think, Jaydeep, I think there are more than 200 people who are watching us live, even despite all our audio and video problems and our lack of perhaps concrete suggestions as to how the constructivism in Indian football should come about. We are just having a chat, and still there are 200, 300 people watching us and listening to us and engaging with us. If you have any questions, by the way, for Jaydeep and Weber or even me, although I doubt I'll be able to answer any questions, please ask them very quickly while we round this up. But so there's a level of interest. There's a love for the sport. Same today, these guys, none of them know how to play. Many have never kicked a ball before in their lives. But they are out there, they are playing, they're like, you are doing a live on what? Mohun Bagan is playing against some club from Uzbekistan. It's a new thing. People are learning. And there's a keenness, there's an enthusiasm, there's a market, whatever way you want to sort of characterize it, explain it, whatever works for you. It's all there in this country, right, with us. But somehow we're not managing to put it together. Is there a second leg to this semi-final, or is this the end?
One leg. That's it.
No. They are going to play the.
Thankfully, this is the end.
They are going to play that Hong Kong team on November 5.
In the words of Jim Morrison, thankfully this is the end.
Okay. All right. So anyway, there's plenty to look forward to in one way. because we have the under 23 qualifiers, the SAF championship, all of that happening, and we will be sort of doing all of that on a fairly regular basis, and I think tonight is a indicator of our relative seriousness or commitment to at least do something. But last questions to you both. In terms of ATK Mohun Bagan, if not the champion team of India, one of the top teams in the country, no doubt. They have a roster of very, very talented players, some of the top players in the country. Jaideep, I'll start with you. How do you see their season going? We're coming into a new season of the ISL, the domestic season, etc., etc. How do you see them doing? And then Weber, same question to you.
Doing domestic season, there is nothing called domestic season in India now. There is only one tournament.
सवाल ही नहीं
पूछने देते
तो सीजन का कोई मतलब नहीं होता है। तो वो एक जो टूर्नामेंट है ठीक है, उसमें 32 कैमरास होंगे, बेस्ट स्पोकन फाइनेस्ट इंग्लिश विल बी स्पोकन इन कमेंट्री, so they will do very well there. But what is needed at the moment to stop everything and review the system? If after this also we don't review the system and we keep on saying that we are doing the right track, then thank you very much. God saves you. That's not all I can say.
Fair enough. Let me tweak the question a bit, man, Weber, for you. So obviously from what Jaideep is saying, hashtag sack Steamatch or hashtag Steamatch out is not the answer. That doesn't tweak the system at all. That just changes one face for another. It's a different sticker. It's a different name. What would you do?
I mean, make a longer season, first of all. We have what was it? Yesterday, I think, a second division club, a club that is going to be playing the I-League qualifiers, beat an ISL team in the Durand Cup. Okay, I agree that the ISL team was playing a lot of youngsters. I'm talking about Delhi FC versus KBFC. And sure, they were playing a lot of youngsters. But you can see that essentially the difference between these, this large ladder system that we have is not that much. So just have a longer season. Just let guys play more games. I mean, just simple things like that. Even at the age group level, if you can get kids to play more games, it will really help. I mean, we may not, I don't know actually, but I would say that we may not be young enough to see the benefits of this. जब तक हम इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप पहुंचेगी शायद हम
2026 ना
जब डंडे में लेके चल रहे हो नहीं सर 2026 तो मतलब सर प्लीज at some point of time you have to stop the humor.
Do not tell Jaideep that.
I know. My apologies again. I haven't been on this show for a while, so I don't know what the trigger words are.
Lost track.
So yeah, I think it's just about it's essentially this links back to the earlier question, which is how do you see ATK Mohun Bagan doing for in this coming season? I really don't know, because I don't know what Mumbai City has been doing. They're one of the favorites at any point of time. Sure, ATK has the most expensive squad assembled and stuff. But Mumbai City, at any point of time, they'll get some couple of really good players. They're the defending champions. We have no idea what they're doing. We have no idea what kind of team BFC is going to put out. They put out youngsters right now. They send youngsters to the Durand Cup. So if you expand the season, let guys play more, then all of this is going to eventually help perhaps Indian football. If then also it doesn't help, then of course aap humko bhi gali de sakte hain. But abhi to at least we can say that, again, like Jaideep sir is saying, there is no season, and it's really true. It's just bubble mein bubble, bas 3 mahina. That's all there is.
सही बात है। वैभव ने बोला आप हमको भी गाली दे सकते हैं, जैसे हम तो गाली कभी खाते ही नहीं है। वैसे हम काफी रेगुलर बेसिस पे मोस्टली हमारा खाना वही होता है, इसलिए जो एक बंदे ने बोला ना नाइस आर्म्स, वो गाली खा के ही बन रहे हैं नाइस आर्म्स भाई लोग। बट
I think that was sarcasm also.
I know. I'm sure.
Don't get excited.
No, I'm not excited at all. Do I look excited? But unfortunately, none of you guys have asked questions. Thank you for joining in nevertheless. I think we will kind of put an end to this because otherwise we'll go on for I don't know, longer than we should. But not that anyone asked, but my simple sort of take on this is that we started playing on this pitch. This is a football pitch. After 20 minutes, everyone was like, "ये क्या है ये? कौन सा गेम है? ये क्या हो रहा है? क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? हाँ, क्रिकेट खेलते हैं." तो उसके बाद वो चले गए सब लोग पीछे वाले पिच पे और वहां पे वो लोग क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं. तो शायद हमारे लिए सोल्यूशन यही है कि हम अपना समझ लें और हम सिर्फ क्रिकेट खेलें. बट जब तक के लिए वी आर फूलिंग अराउंड विद दिस क्या कहते हैं 11 साइड स्पॉट. जयदीप, वैभव, पंडित, मैं और हमारे सब दोस्त आपके साथ लगे रहेंगे और इन बातों में क्या कहते हैं उलझे रहेंगे और इनसे उलझाते रहेंगे आपको भी. So please keep joining us. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday evening. It was disappointing, no doubt. I feel for the players who've gone through that.
Yeah,
it's a proper beating. I mean, it's not the kind of evening you ever want to, I don't know.
Don't wish it on your worst enemy.
Yeah, really. I mean, I think they in that team on the bus back and in the hotel, there will be some real serious conversations, and hopefully they can get beyond and get better, and everyone will enjoy that process, inshallah. And I think that's the best we can hope for at this point, that all of this leads up to something, not to benefit football from the, I think, generic standpoint of benefiting football, but that if you are saying ना जरीदा कि ये क्लब हमारा नेशनल क्लब है, ये इस क्लब का हिस्ट्री है, लेगेसी है और हमारा कोई फुटबॉल में स्टैंडिंग है, हम 130 साल से हम डोमेस्टिक कंपटीशन चला रहे हैं, तो क्या चला रहे हैं, कहाँ चला रहे हैं, क्यों चला रहे हैं, किसके लिए चला रहे हैं, ये सारे सवाल आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं पेचीदा हैं और किसी ना किसी को इन बारे में सोचना चाहिए. हम सोच रहे हैं, आई थिंक जो हमारे साथ जुड़ते हैं वो भी सोच रहे हैं और करते रहेंगे चर्चा बातचीत in this setting, or hopefully next time the lighting will be better, guys. But thank you so much to both of you. If you have any last comments to make, please do. Anything you're looking forward to in the calendar, anything else you want to say? Otherwise I'll say good night and end this call.
No.
Okay.
What you can watch Anwar Ali if you guys are watching the Durant Cup. Please watch it. He's playing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch the Durant Cup. I mean, make your own assessments of what's happening at the domestic level for sure. Check that out and have those conversations with us. I think all of our email. Watch the CFL.
Some very good matches have been played.
Yep.
Some good
all of us.
Good matches have been played.
Yeah. I think all of us are also publicly accessible in terms of our email addresses being out there. I mean, you can find us if you think that we are making, statements that are not warranted, or sometimes we play with the guys who we are talking about when they are playing badly. So, Vaibhav gets beaten a lot. It's part of the process. It's not like it's such an easy thing. But let us know what you think and keep joining us. 420 grams, it's your channel. Please like, subscribe, share, all of that jazz. And we'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.